All right, by a show of hands, has anybody taken the TMR webinars or TMR seminars that are in this group? A lot of times people come back and will just watch me. And who's taking it? Just hold your hand up. Yeah, and I know. Those are, so we just have two of you today. All right, cool. All right, so I'm going to give you the lay of the land by my web page and my website. From there, I'm not going to teach you why it works. I'm not going to teach you how it works. All right, we're just going to get into it and make it and show it works on you. All right, because I'm going to show you where you can find out all that information on our home page. All right, so very quickly, I'm just going to go to the home page. So if you go to totememotionrelease.com, you don't have to, you've seen it on me, but if you want to do this afterwards, this is set up as a lesson, okay? This is set up so that you can come down through here and it says step 1, see it work. So if you've never seen this work, all right, again, tonight, you're going to have it work on yourself and you're going to see, let's see, 27 people right now change also, all right? So here's how it works. Sorry, this is seeing it work, sees how it works or why it works. There are videos on it. They're really awesome videos. And then I recommend you join our Facebook page. Then you're going to see, because again, the two biggest questions I get asked after this is why and how does it work, and then how long does it last? So it's a repeated and repetitive question that gets asked so often that I give you an answer to it. Very thorough answer. Don't think this is, in fact, this is the page that if any therapist or any patient is interested in TMR, I say to them, go to the homepage, my webpage, and do steps 1 through 4. Now in step 4, there's a web class, just like what you guys are taking right now. It's recorded, an older one, that you guys can go through on your own too, and send your patients to, send your co-workers through. But there is a page right here. You fill out all the information, all right? You'll get immediate access to a recorded seminar, just like you guys are on today. Right, and there's a form there, and there's chat from the attendees. I think there was 91 or 65 on last time, and it shows the chat from everybody. All right, so cool stuff there. But on the homepage, that's where the biggest information is. All right, this is where you're going to learn the most about the process. And then if you want to get trained as a clinician, there's seminars. If you want to get your staff trained as owners, and if you're a patient, there's stuff here too, okay? So just really quick, this takes us to your seminar page, which is always up here under CEUs. Owner 1 takes you to a page that explains what a staff training's like. And if you're general public, this one takes you to how to get a small intro package. It's really cool. Now, there's 3 books you can also purchase. They've been created over the time. They're just now ebooks. This Outsmarts Pain used to be a paperback that we used to mail to you, but it's just not worth it anymore. And this is me. This is me and my family. I'll enlarge a little bit. So we are in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've had up to 4 practices. I sold my last practice in January 2017 to my staff. Okay. I'll give you a little bit. Prior to being a PT, this has not been my first career. I was a teacher, and then before that, I was a manager of Sam's Club. As a teacher, I was trained all over the country. You learn how to integrate the curriculum and I was so fortunate. I flew all over the country to learn all this application of how to get people to learn things faster. Got to sit on some really cool boards. And I, at 22 years old, was teaching teachers how to teach better. So it was good and bad. Let's see. That should be it about here. I'll give you my daughter is 18, heading off to college. First year will be in August, as my baby girl will be heading off to kindergarten. So I've got a big wide span, big active fun family. And so there's the home page. If you come up here, this is where if you're a clinician, if you want to get seminars that are approved for, by your PTs, PTAs, ATs, MTs, it's right up there. OTs right now, we're having to go through and re-credentialing because they got a higher level of, I don't know, they wanted more credentialing. AOTA went through a shift last year, so we're having to re-credential with that. Blog. If you're looking to see us treat a bunch of different conditions, these are actual treatments that I do on somebody, not the full ones, but some of them are a lot longer. Some of them are Bill Jones is on here. Some of these are treatments that Bill Jones has done. Some of them Dean Smith or Dean Volk has done. You've got research. The top ones are the ones that have been done on TMR itself. And the rest, again, Bill Jones pulled up when he first took the course and said, hey, Tom can't be all that smart. There's got to be other things out there that are out there doing the same thing. And we couldn't find them, but we got concepts. There were concepts of things being done that related to similar stuff. Until you read it, because as you go through tonight, most of you are going to say, how in the world did that happen? And why the heck haven't I known about it previously? All right, so tons and tons and tons of research. Okay, this is all I'm going to talk about on the website, because I really like to, pretty much everything speaks for itself. I would rather be a instructor, all right, and give you a recipe and instructions to follow, and then have the instructions and you doing it teach you about it, okay? So I've done steps 1 through 4. I showed you my family, I showed you the blog, and I showed you the research. So we are done with that part. Now comes the fun. So how many of you have had pain in the last 2 weeks? Anywhere in your body, hold up your hand. If you've had pain in the last 2 weeks, put your hand in front of the camera. Okay, I want you guys all, if you still got it on the screen of just me, top right-hand corner is a toggle switch. Check out everybody who's messed up. I don't want you to think that, oh, we're clinicians, or most of us are clinicians, therefore, we're not patients right now, and it's not fair, because, man, I've had some wild people as far as clinicians, what they had going on problem-wise in their body. So here's what we're going to do. You put your hands down now. Here's what we're going to do. Oh, I didn't even put out my page yet. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to find issues in your bodies, all right? We're going to record them, and we're going to keep track of all the things that are messed up with you as we choose one motion, the same motion that we're all going to do. Every single one of us are going to do the same motion, but we're all going to have different issues, and we're going to see whether the statement that says pretty much, we're going to move the good to fix the bad. We're going to go into things that work well, not into things that don't work well. We're going to go into ease rather than restriction. We're going to go in different parts of the body that don't quote relate, you may think. All right? And hopefully, just like each other one we've had over the past year and a half, you guys will see the changes on yourselves. You'll see the changes on each other here. And hopefully that'll make you be blown away enough to say, hey, I want to take this course. Okay, I want to take a seminar with it. Or I want to, if you're a patient, that I want to do the intro package. Now, if any time you would like to talk or ask a question, you can do it in the chat, but I also don't mind actually unmuting yourself and getting on and saying something. Okay. So here's my instructions. You are going to, right now, go and either get up. You can do some of this stuff in standing too, but you're going to move your upper extremities, and you're going to compare right side to left side. You're not going to do them bilaterally, okay? You're just going to test them. One right side versus left side. Now, hold on. What you're going to do is you're basically testing the body for motion. And you want to know the ones that are yummy, and you want to know the ones that are yucky. Right now, we're going to track the ones that are yucky. All right, but you got to keep at the back of your mind what's yummy. So what I need you to do is I need you to take and test your upper extremities, right side versus left side, in various motions. Find, like, for example, I might go, oh, that hurts. Oh, that one's good, right? Oh, that one hurts. Oh, this one's good, right? That's upper extremities. We're also going to do the trunk. Move the trunk in different ways. You can be in standing or sitting. If you choose to do forward flexion, forward bending, choose to go center, but also test going to the right versus the left. Find the yucky. All right, we're going to record these. All right, and then I want you to take the legs, and I want you to move the legs. And remember, they can be non-weight bearing, like a leg raise forward or backward out to the side or side across, or they can be, I should have said non-weight bearing. I hope I did say that. Or they can be weight bearing, which is like a one-legged sit to stand, or a one-legged lunge, or just, bending down a little bit on one leg versus the other leg. I want you to find 2 to 8 issues in your body. That doesn't mean it has to be painful. It can be restricted feeling. It can be numbness. It can be harder. The one side's harder than the other. And I want you to record them. So, for example, I gotta find that. I'm going to share a screen, for example, here. I don't really want you to see this yet, but it's okay. Bink. Okay. Let me make this larger so everybody can see it. There is a form, but you don't need to have this form. I won't enlarge like that. Okay, so it's the best it can do. Okay, so I, for example, flex forward to the right. It was yucky. My leg raised forward on the right was yucky. My arm raised bent, abducted on the left was yucky. All right, so I recorded it like that. So for you guys, after you played around a bit, if you weren't able to print out the form, no big deal. All you're going to do is you're going to do this. If you don't have this up right now, you're going to put me on big old speaker view. And you're just going to put bend, forward, right, arm raise, right, trunk, twist, left. You're just going to write things in there. So you're going to record down what you got going on. I especially need these if you're taking this for credit. But I need everybody to participate if you want to stay online with me today. Cool. So go find 2 to 8 things. The more you find, all right, the more impressive this will be for you. And then I'm going to show you how to score it. And then we're all going to tell each other what we got going on by putting it in the chat box. So find 2 to 3 things, write them down for right now, and then you're going to score them. Hear me for a second. Arms or upper extremity, trunk, also you could do, and then legs. You can go forward, backward. Now try to, don't do your speed. You got to really reach and get up there. Come on, feel it, feel it, feel it. This is a point that if I can't see you and people can't see you, I'm booting you off. So you'll be booted off. You'll be able to come back in, and hopefully maybe you'll turn your webcam on then. Got an iPhone. We have Rachel. We have Linsville, Amy Johnson, Maxine Shapiro, Tabitha Hollinger, Jackie's iPhone. You got a couple more minutes before I boot you out of here. Looks like Danelle Moore and Rick. I don't see you guys either. Nice. Hold that thought, Amy. I'm not asking for them quite yet. Okay, so people are starting to finish up. Keep on keep on doing it. I'm going to show you how to score this. It's real simple. All right. Here's how you score it. You simply say to yourself, all right, so if I bent forward to the right, I would say to myself, how hard is that? Low, medium, or high? A low is a 10 to 30 or a 1 to 30. We don't use 1 to 10, we use 1 to 100. It gives us more numbers to work with. So if I said it's a low, all right, I would say, is it 10, 20, or 30? The higher the number, the worse it is. And I put down the score. Okay, so then I recheck my other thing, my arm raise. And I say, is that a low, medium, or high? Great, I say medium. A medium is a 40, 50, or 60. The higher the number, the worse it is. And if it's a high, it's a 70, 80, 90, or 100. The higher the number, the worse it is. So let me share with you that. So here's what we got. Instructions are, we're testing the motions of the body, the upper extremities, the trunk, and the lower extremities. Find 2 to 8 motions that are yucky. Record the motions on the top of the form, or again, if you're just using your piece of paper, that's fine too. A score is, it is 1 to 30 is a low, 40 to 60 medium, 70 to 100. Put a score down. So for example, here's mine. Flex forward to the right. Remember to put the distances of 40. Leg raise forward on the right is a 50. And arm raise reduction is a 75. So again, if you weren't sure of what the scoring is again, scoring is right there. And I'm actually going to put it up top here too. Okay. So now, so that we can start seeing everybody, what I need you to do, I need to know, I forgot to put that. I need to know all your issues. So I need to know, and I'm going to put it in the chat box. Don't anybody put anything in the chat box right now. Here, don't click anybody. So I'm going to put flex to the right, 40. I'm going to put leg raise, right, 50. And I'm going to put arm raise, left, 75. So you will see in the chat box right now my scores that I've got on this form. I would like you guys to go ahead and put in your scores. Do not hit the enter key until you put everything down. Okay. So test yourself and then put your scores in the chat box just like I put my scores there. Mine are in between the dotted lines. Good. Got Arlene's got shoulder flexion, 10, trunk rotation of 30, leg raise 30. So now we're going to look, as we go through this with 29 people, we should get a pretty significant amount of some medium and high stuff. And then we'll take a look at a couple people's. Good. We got left trunk rotation of 60, shoulder abduction of 30, and right neck rotation of 60. Got a 40, a 30, and a 25. Good. We got some trunk lateral bend 60, right rotation of 40, first lunges of 30. Gotta have it. I have 24 more people that need to record something. Ooh, nice. Plantar flexion is 60, trunk rotation is 70, Neck rotation of 50. Foot numbness of 50 bilaterally. Awesome. Not for you, but hopefully for tonight. By the time you get done, it will be. Right shoulder is 60. Left knee to chest of 40. Good job, guys. I don't see any too much weight bearing stuff going on, but left abduction is 75. Trunk rotation of 40. Ooh, sit to stand right, lower extremity sit to stand is a 60. This is good stuff. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, Sam, start seeing who's recorded stuff and who hasn't, and you can just start turn them off. Sam's my admin guy, so right internal rotation, reach up behind the 40. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, just in case you guys can't see this stuff, yes, Andrea, we got yours. So I'll share my screen one more time just so you guys can see all this stuff too. I think you can see it, I hope. If you can't, will you let me know? Because I'm sharing my screen, but I'm not sure it shares the Zoom stuff. Can anybody see that chat box right there? Somebody tell me yes or no. In other words, right this very second, in the middle of the screen, I have the chat box. However, because it's part of the system, it might not show up. Maybe all you see is my TMR webinar. Does anybody see the chat box?
We see the chat box where everybody entered
right in front of
their complaints.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Does anybody see my screen, and does my screen have a chat? Don't see on my phone. Okay, thanks, Robert. Does anybody see it? Again, this is new. Okay, so Amy does see it. Who else sees it? I just need a yes or a no, whether you're seeing the chat that I'm right now and you're seeing part of my screen. Only chat to the right, but not on your screen share. Okay, so it's not on the screen share. I do not. Okay, sorry, it doesn't allow it when it, okay, so I'm just gonna move it over. Good, cool, there, fair enough. All right. Now, what's really cool here, let's get some people. Let's get some stuff. Okay, so let's show some people that's got some messed up stuff. So it's time to, we've got some pretty nasty ones. Guys, this is about you guys learning this. So if you've got something, please step forward. You're already here. We're already seeing you. Don't be bashful. I want people that are 50s and above that you can see the difference just so we can all see it. And hopefully I'll be able to keep track of all your names. And we'll recheck to see what they look like afterwards. So raise your hand up. Who's willing to get up on here and show us your messed upness, your yuckiness. All right, Corey, I can see your hand, so let me unmute you, and then I'm going to, hold on one second. Speaker view, let me see here. I'm gonna pin you. All right, good. Corey, can you show us what you got going on?
Yeah, I have a 5 surgery wrist. So this is as far as I can flex this wrist, and that's my normal motion.
Oh, it's gonna be good if it changes. Wow, that'd be cool. Okay, good. And what number did you give it?
80.
Nice. And how long ago was your last surgery?
So I was cleared because I had pins removed and screws and plates removed. So I was cleared 1.5 years ago.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Anything else?
I mean, that's the worst one.
You got anything else that's 50s? Or
yeah, my left internal rotation. I mean, external rotation. So.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then.
Okay. Whoa, dang. Okay. How different?
It's probably about a 40% difference. I was a pitcher in college.
Wow. Okay, good. All right, so external rotation. Anything else?
And then my truncal rotation, I golf both sides. So,
But you're an ambidextrous golfer?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so do you have a difference left versus right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, put your hands on the chest just so we won't be paying attention to your arms. All right, now twist around as far as you can. All right, now the other way. What's the difference?
So I can go left, but when I go right, I force into extension in order to go right.
And how yucky does that make you feel?
It's like 20% difference.
Okay, that's some good twisting right there, though. Cool, thanks. All right, I usually like showing about 5 people here, so I need full mo. Put your hands up. I gotta try to see some. Put right in front of the camera, basically. Paula, we're gonna be able to see you if we do. You're in the car, aren't you?
I am.
All right, let's see whether I can see you. Hold on, let me pin your video here so that everybody can see you. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Paula.
Do you listen to me?
Yep, we hear you.
Okay. So I guess military neck, and I normally feel it's worse to flex. I think I could be more flexible.
Okay, hold on a second. Put the phone in front. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Show us what you. Okay. All right, what number do you give that?
I'm sorry, but I didn't get the number part from the beginning. I was looking at the chart, but I didn't understand what was going on.
Is that a low, medium, or high amount of yucky?
Oh, the amount of yuck. Well, it's an 80.
It's an 80. It's a high level of yuck.
Yes,
Okay,
I want my full range of motion.
All right, fair enough. And so, you got anything else? Either
Well,
I don't want you looking for it now. Either you know it or you don't, because we don't. I don't want to take a lot of time.
No,
Okay.
that's it. That's the
Okay.
worst.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, you bet. All right, what else? Again, sorry if I can't. All right, Robert, I see you. All right, hold on. Let me shoot. Hold on. Let me pin you. Where'd you go, Robert? Where the heck? There you are. Let me pin you. All right, go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to try to do this. I got to turn around, so hopefully you can still see me correctly.
Okay. Oh yeah, hand behind the back. Very good. Yep. Oh yeah, nice. How bad?
I gave that a 60, but now I'm thinking that might be closer to like an 80.
All right, we'll give you an 80 then. Anything else?
That's the biggest one.
Cool. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. Who else? Again. Who else? Yeah. I have to scroll through and find y'all. Hey, Miss Desiree. Good to see you. Come on, I need 2 more. Not going forward, just going to hang out here. All right, Andrew, that's right. We're going to get, and then we'll go up to style or elephant. All right, so let me pin you first. Hold on, you should be muted, I think. I got to close out some here. Andrea right there. All right, Andrea, I unmuted you. All right. Yep, it's all you. What you got going on?
So when I'm doing abduction,
Yep.
I've only got this much range of motion on this side.
Wow.
So it's a big difference.
This is good stuff here. Okay, what number?
I gave it a 60, but then looking at it, it's probably bigger than that.
Yeah, I would say so too.
I probably am low balling because I'm just used to it. And I get spasms in my back, and I bet that's why.
Just tell me what number.
I'll give it a 70. So it's fair. And then my internal rotation and abduction is also a challenge.
Okay, and then internal rotation.
Big difference.
What number are you giving it?
I gave that a 50.
50. Cool. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, got to go back and find one more person here, and I know it's Sal. There we go. So I'm going to unmute you. Oh, Sal, you're going to have to unmute yourself. There you go. And then mute. All right. Am I saying that? Is it Sal?
No, it's Sheila.
Sheila. Oh, you just got some.
It's Irish language.
Gotcha. All right, Sheila, what you got?
Neck rotation limit in both directions from whiplash
Okay, show it.
2 months ago.
Show it.
It hurts to do it. I mean,
Okay. On the other side?
yeah. And actually, if I do side bend as well,
Give me the worst one and the worst
it's
side.
about the same, both sides.
All right, which one's a little bit worse? All right, just tell me what both of them are then. Both neck. So
I
what's
put it at 60.
60? All right, anything else?
It goes up and down around that. Yeah, I get sciatic pain down my left leg.
With what motion?
Um,
Need a motion.
it's usually after I've been sitting and I stand up.
Okay, so you need to find a motion that increases.
Okay, so when I'm going to stand back far enough. When I lift my legs straight, my foot flexed.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it's like, just.
Okay, show us the other side. Show us the other side. Okay, what number?
So it'll vary between 50 and 70.
What is it? What is it right now when you just did
Right
it?
now, probably 60.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Actually, you can go way higher.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so here is what I'm going to mute everybody. Mute. All right, so here's what we're going to do. What I want to tune into is a lot of times, maybe you guys have seen the videos and you go to the right side won't work, so you just go to the left side and do something. The finger doesn't work, so you go to the other side. That's kind of the concept of TMR, all right? Which we're going to experience tonight. You can also experience on a lot of videos that are on the website. If you go to our YouTube channel, Total Motion Release, there's like 120 videos on it. And again, I try to show before the treatment and after. Sorry, not just before the treatment, but pre-testing, treatment, and post-testing. So there's a lot to be seen. You're going to hopefully experience it today. But what I really want to take away from here is we're going to all do the twist to our yummy side. All right, and we're going to see what it changes to the yucky side twist and our other issues that we currently have. All right, so the things that we're recording now, I want to see if this twist, how many of you it will change and how many of those conditions it will change, because that's what's the most fascinating when it happens. So a twist is really simple here. Is I always say, put your hands on your chest, and so we can all do this together. My picture's crooked over there. Put your hands on your chest or your belly button. And I don't want you to move your hand like this, okay? It's a twist. So what you're going to do is you're going to twist as far as you can. Just feel it. Keep twisting. Feel it. All right? We're not just going to go boom. Nope, no difference. We're going to feel it, okay? All right? It got length and seemed pretty good. Here, gets a little tight there. I seem to go okay. I don't do as good as Corey, but motion looks pretty decent. All right? But I feel more this way. So it'd be like a 20 or 5. It doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, it is. If both sides are yucky, you might not want to do this exercise at all. But you're used to treating the bad, so you can go to the gooder side even. All right? So, but the truth of the matter is, I'm looking for one to be yummy and one to be yucky, so we can go to the yummy. If they're both yummy, you can't tell a difference. Think about doing this one for 2 hours. Think about doing this one for 2 hours. Which one would you pick, even though it might only be 2% better? Which one was the harder one? Because we're going to record this stuff too, okay? We're going to record this too. Because this is an issue. Because you don't realize it yet, but we as clinicians, basically, I don't care if I'm moving you or I'm telling you to move yourself. The first thing, and really all we're ever doing is looking for asymmetries. I don't care what technique you're doing, what evaluation you're doing. You're basically looking for asymmetries. If I'm looking at your spine, look and see what's twisted. What is twisting me? Well, one side versus the other doesn't move well. All right? So what I want you to do is I want you to put down here how bad. All right, so we did that one. The next one is record on the form the twist. The twist, which side is the yucky one? So what I mean by that here, and again, I don't care whether this is, let me see if I can get this a little bigger here. Oh, what's going on? It's weird. Whether it's on a sheet of paper or not, you should have scores that look like this. This is what your issues were. You should have this recorded. And then now we're doing the twist, and my bad side's to the left. Mine's not that bad, but I'm going to at least put it down as a 10. So I need you guys right now on the chat. I want to see how yucky people's twists are and which side is the bad one. All right, so I'm putting mine down as a 10. All right, and that's all. I just put mine down. I'd like everybody to put down how yucky their twist is and which side is yucky. Again, some of you guys are going to be pretty big, some of you are going to be small, some of you are going to be 2%. I don't really care. Right now, we're just all going to use it. Hey, Greg, I read your message about your mobility and balance. Sorry, I just read it. So let's just see what, just give it a score. Balance on one side or the other, see what you got. Let's see what you get later, okay, afterwards. All right, so we got Andrew with a 70. And Andrew was the one that had a bad abduction arm raise and internal rotation arm raise. So not arm raise, but motion. Good. Damn, Bill. All right, so you should see. Come on, I still need more people here. Need to know your twist and stuff. All right, so here's what we're going to do, though. Make sure. So before we do it, treat. Do not exercise if both sides are bad. Guys, this is like, but you guys, if your clinicians are used to treating to the bad, so you could go just to the better one to see if it makes it good. But what we're trying to do is, it's okay to exercise if one side's yummy and one side's yucky. Boom, absolutely, gonna go to the yummy. If both sides are yummy, just exercise to the yummier one. Why do I use these terms of yummy and yucky? Because it takes away all the jargon from a patient. They're very much easier able to understand it. Yummy can mean pain, it can mean restriction, it can mean both of them combined, it can mean a whole bunch of things. So it's just a nice simple term to use. And these even I use good and bad, and for some reason people don't like the word bad. So anyways, that's what we go for. Oops. And if both sides are stiff, not painful, but stiff, then exercise to the yummier one. It's typically what will make you worse, but again, you can try it if you want to, is when both sides are yucky, it's kind of problematic. All right, so what we're gonna do now, it says on here, we're gonna do 2 sets to the yummy side, 2 sets of 20. So again, this is my good side. I'm just gonna push into end range. My head, let your head go where it wants to. If it wants to stay here, fine. If it wants to go with you, fine. There's no right and wrong answer. And if you think this, oh, I'm twisting, I need to be up straight. No, I want you to the most comfortable position as you twist. If that's in this or this, I don't care, just do it. 2 sets of 20, all right? How you rest for, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30 seconds, whatever you want to in between each one. But 2 sets of 20, pushing into end range. Get to end range. It's the end range that I want you at. All right, do 2 sets of 20, please. And even after this one, we should see some dramatic changes in people that you guys should go like, what? There's no rush here, but when you do get done, I want you to record on your own form and in the chat box. I just put the chat box up. But what I want you to do is I want you to recheck your twist, and I want you to recheck all your yucky shit from above. Okay? And I'll just put my form down here. So do 2 sets of 20. Please do 2 sets of 22, please. Also, because this is the big deal here, how much it changes you. Take your time. It should take all of, I don't know, 3 minutes. Okay, so I want you to put everything down. Sheila, I have no clue what left went from 5 to 0. Last we had you at a 60 or something. So I don't know what that means. I need to know everything. Like I put my twist was a 10 and it went to a 0. I put my bending forward was a 40, went to a 20. I need to have I need to have a beginning number and an ending number. I need to know every one of your issues you had, and I need to know this beginning score and the ending score. And I need it all on the same line, because as soon as you hit return, we'll get all separated and stuff. Stop writing stuff, Arlene. I need to know a number. That's it. Okay? I need to know what issue it was and where's it at now. So look above. So again, if you can't, hopefully you can see my screen. And so you've got your form written out like this. Again, it can be on just a sheet of paper. It can be nicely done on a spreadsheet like I've got. Or it can be done, and then I want it in the chat box just like this. Whatever's in red right here. Hey, we right twist 40 to a 0. Again, Galaxy S9, you should have other things going on too from above if you join us in time. Rebecca, whoa, trunk lateral bending went from a 60 to a 30. Trunk right, 40 to 20. Reverse lunge, 30 to 10. So she's already dropped. Everybody so far has dropped 50%. Corey, twist 10 to 5. All right, so the right fixated wrist went from an 80 to a 70, and the extension 70 to 60. So it dropped somewhat, which is kind of cool with all he's got. And we've done very small amount of stuff here. We've got the now maybe, I'm sorry if I got it wrong, 30 to 15. Greg, thoracic rotation left was a 5, right's a 75. But again, look at your screen right now. You should see that I want my twist to 10 to 0. I want 2 numbers. I want everything you had wrong. Greg, I know you were having some problems trying to figure out what to do. Amy, twist 40. What was it to begin with? Left abduction 40. What was it to begin with? Guys, I want a beginning number and I want an ending number on everything you did. So if you can see my screen again, my forward flexion went from a 40 to a 20. My leg raise, 50 to a 10. Arm bend, 75 to a 45. My twist went from a 10 to a 0. I'm going to record all that. I record it in reverse order. Twist, 10 to 0. Bend forward, 40 to 10. Leg raise, 50 to 10. Arm raise, 75 to 45. There you go. Sharon's got it now. I like it. Galaxy S9, left shoulder internal behind the back was 40 to 0. I'm hoping that, I don't know. And guys, definitely I need, Corey's already answered. I need Paula's and Robert's, people we looked at, Andrea, Sheila, if you haven't already put it up. Desiree went from 60 to 40, 30 to 25, 60 to 40. Come on, 1, 2. Twist 20, right 50 to begin. Now, Paula, put it all on the same line, just like what you see on my screen. All of it on the same line. Andrea, 50 to 30. Good. Right abduction internal rotation, 50 to 20. Right side bend, 50 to 40. Right twist, 60 to 30. Right arm abduction, 70 to 20. Okay, so we're going to see Andrea's here in a little bit. Her that sucky arm raise went from a 70 to a 20. There you go, Amy, 60, 40, 80, 40, 60, 50. Good. It's good stuff. Sheila went from a neck rotation, it was a 60 bilateral, now it's a 30 on the right, 40 on the left. Leg raise 60 to 30. That was her sciatica sensation or herniation. Back went 50 to 25, 50 to 20. This is awesome. Good work, gang. This is great. Okay, so with that said, we have a couple rules, and they're real simple rules. And they're not ones we created. They're ones you guys use no matter what happens with a patient. They are, what do you do if something's better? What do you do if something plateaus or doesn't change much or somebody fatigues? And what do you do if it gets worse, something funky happens, or new pain comes on, or pain changes location? Rule 1, if it gets better, do more of it. If it plateaus, we're going to tweak it a little bit, but we're not going to tweak quite yet. We're going to tweak on the next one. If it gets worse, it got a little rules to it. But for right now, everybody did amazing, right? And we're talking the same thing is fixing and helping all of you. And I know your question is going to be, well, how long does it last and why does it work? Well, that's on the homepage, right? Because this is a real deal. We do this from pediatric patients with even cerebral palsy, torticollis, the really odd syndromes like Rett syndrome that kids have, all the way up to stroke patients. Obviously, we do on athletes and outpatient stuff and like the whole fixing. So everything you've been freaking doing, basically, we are twisting it around and taking it to directions of motion that work well anywhere in the body. Oftentimes, we just do right to left, but I'm showing you, Dag, we're going to start with the center part. All right, so let's do 2 more sets of 20 to the good. We don't do the yucky. We do the yucky when the yummy and the yucky are relatively in balance when we come back next time, or we come back 2 days from now, or whatever. And again, I'm not hurrying you. You guys take your time. This is all good stuff. When you get done, in between dotted lines, I put down what you need to do. Now I want you to score again everything. So this time you should have 3 numbers: the beginning number, the first set, the second set. And I'll show you what that means. And show this time it should look like this. Is in your box, the thing you're tracking, you should have a relatively a spreadsheet that looks like this. And I want you to record it. Record everything. Why we're recording everything is it so we all can see the major changes that are occurring. Okay, so this time you should have 3 numbers on everything. Really get an end range. Don't worry about the recording. I worry more, or I want you get to see improvement, 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 improvement. Take your time. Put your stuff down though. When you get done, record it on your little spreadsheet or your sheet of paper, but also tell all of us in it in the So again, I see people finishing up now, so go ahead and put in the chat box everything. Where's your twist now? There should be 3 scores. Your very first score, the last 0 you had, and where you're at now. You should then have all your other issues. You should have 3 numbers for each one. Show me what you got now. Show all of us what you got now. And then we're going to do the twist a different way, and we're going to see what happens. So come on, put them in the chat box. If you look at the chat box, all right. Amy, 60 now, went to 20, was a 60, 40, 20, 80, 40, 20. 6 saying 60, 50, 40. Billy Jones there, doing awesome. Arlene, 10 to 0, 30 to 0, 10 to 0. Rebecca, 60 to 10, 40 to 0, and 30 to 5. Delana Moore, I don't know what that means. Both seems more equal, less pain. I don't know what both are. Side bend, 30 to 0. Twist, 30 to 10. Trunk extension, 30 to 0. This is awesome. Come on, I got 6 out of 29 of you, so here we go. Got 60 to 20, 30 to 10, 60 to 20, 30. Okay, so we got Sharon here staying the same on 30 to 30. Neck 10 to 0. Another thing, 30 to 10, 60 to 30, and 60 to 50. Again, we've done one thing really here. Laura, 50 to 25, 50 to 20, 50 to 0, 70 to 30, 60 to 30. Again, I don't know how to repeat all this, but okay, so Corey stayed the same, 80 to 70, 70 flexion, 30 to 10, 60 to 30, and 50 to 20. So let's check out that stuff on you. Where are my other people? Good work, man. Really good work. All right, so Sheila, who had the neck problem, 60 to 20, 60 to 40, leg extension, 50 to 25. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So let's do a little tweak. Let's just assume, so how much would I do that for? Well, if you're having improvement, do it until you're not having improvement. Continue. We like to do 2 sets, 2 to 3 sets before we retest. We're constantly retesting everything. One of the things is therapist or patient's pain and complexity comes in when we aren't tracking everything. You guys will go up and track a shoulder, then say it's fixed. Go down and start treating a knee. You're treating the knee, you don't realize the shoulder's getting worse. So once we start something, once we've looked at the body, we track everything. In fact, we would prefer to pre-test the body with as many issues in it as possible. Because when you start doing one thing and it starts changing all of them, that's powerful, and that's a huge buy-in for patients, right? When you start seeing it, you're going to say, oh my gosh. I mean, one of the first things is I took a strain counter strain course. Strain counter strain finds tender points all out throughout the body. They scan the entire body, all right? They know they come in, the person tells them what's wrong with them, they show them, but then they scan the entire body. So I remember they had somebody who had a jaw pain, couldn't even open their mouth, all right? What they found out was the biggest tender point that they had was behind the right knee. They shortened the tissue, which is exactly what we're doing. We're going into ease, they're going into ease. This is just motion-based or functional strain counter strain, right? They released that tender point behind their knee and their jaw popped open for the first time, however long it was, right? So I'm used to going around and treating anything in the body and realizing you put something in the body in symmetry and the whole body gets more symmetrical. The bigger things that we can find that are out of symmetry and put them into symmetry, the whole body gets better. Just like if you take something and take it out of symmetry, the whole body gets worse, right? But we're not tracking enough to see this. We're still being compartmentalized. You guys hopefully are beginning to see, and again, this is why I like having a lot of people online, is that you begin seeing a lot of changes with a lot of issues going on with people. So I appreciate, number one, you guys taking the time and recording it for everybody, right? Because some of you guys, I know you're tracking 5, 6, 7 things, or 5, 6, 7 things, yeah. And you're having to write a lot, that's okay. We'll get less here in a second. All right, so the next thing, this is the last one we're going to write a lot of stuff for. We're going to write one more set of numbers, which will be 4 sets of numbers here in a second. But after that, we'll just write 2. We'll write the pre-test score, and we'll put where it is now. But here's what the twist looks like now. So we're all going to do this together. I'll kind of show you what it looks like. But we're going to go to the good. And then I'm going to say to you to focus on a certain area of your body. I'm going to say, focus on your shoulders and twist a little more from your shoulders. And I'm going to say, focus on your chest and your mid-back and twist from there. And now your belly and your low back. And now your whole thing, right? So we're going to do that. So I'm going to talk to you. Instead of doing 2 sets of 20 reps, we're going to do 2 sets of 20 seconds. We're going to do 2 reps of 20 seconds or 15 seconds, okay? So everybody right now, twist whichever, if you tested yourself in sitting, you should be in sitting. If you tested yourself in standing, you should be in standing, okay? Treat where you tested. Sitting, standing is not the same as standing. Sitting, standing. Twisting and sitting is not the same as twisting and standing. It's a different exercise entirely. Okay, so ready? Let's twist, twist, twist. Get all the way. Let your head be where it wants to be. Good. Now, shoulders, 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 shoulders. Now, chest, 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 and mid-back. Now, belly, 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 and low back, low back, low back, and pelvic floor and sacrum, whatever that means. Twist, twist, twist. Now, the higher thing, the whole thing is a barrel. Twist, 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 let your head go where it wants to. Shoulder, 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 chest, mid-back, belly button, and low back, and relax. Now, what we're doing here is we're letting the body determine whether it likes reps better or pushing into end range. Now, we've already done stuff, so we've already gotten better with our reps, so we can't really tell. But tomorrow, maybe you'll start with pushing into end range. And maybe you go, oh, my body right now likes pushing into end range better. Today, it might like reps better. Tomorrow, it might like pushing into end range. Don't assume it stays typical, okay?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, yes, please do, Amy.
Are we supposed to be tightening those parts? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, just trying to think about them. Just put your attention on them, Amy, and just think about trying to turn them a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to put you off.
Okay. Yeah, so just turn just a little bit with it if you can. Focus your attention on that area. That's all it's doing, okay? Nothing major. So I'll talk you through it again. Ready? Let's do it again. Put your hands on your chest or your belly. Now twist around from the shoulders. And just focus now on the shoulders and think if you can turn a little bit more from that, just that area. Now chest and mid-back. There's nothing right or wrong here, guys. Nothing at all. Just twist. Now belly button and low back, if you can. Chest, mid-back. Not that you can, just focus that area. Shoulders, belly and low back, chest and mid-back, shoulders. The entire thing, twist and relax. Now recheck the other side, and then go recheck everything else. And what I need you to do this time is I need you to rewrite everything. This is the last time we're going to do this big, long lines of everything. Okay, the next one after this, we're only going to do 2 numbers. But I just wrote everything down of mine. I need you to write everything down of yours. And let's see where we're at. And then we'll go look at our peeps and see what's going on. So again, here's our chart. That's what mine looked like. I'm on my 3rd set of stuff. Here's what everything's happening in my twist. Here's a nice, neat, organized spreadsheet of it. If you got it on paper, that's fine too. And then I want you to write down on the chat box it to look like 4 numbers for every single issue you've got. All right, Rebecca, 60 all the way to 10, 40 to 0, 30 to 5. There you go. So we got it definitely greater than 70% on all hers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, I know some of you have been unable to, like you're on a phone or something, but now you should be able to get on, say, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me what your scores were if you want to and you need to. No worries, Amy. Question hour, when we are twisting, we are simply going to shoulder, 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 chest. Just, there's no wrong answer. I'm just trying to make your mind focus on just one little area at a time, and you're just twisting from there if you can. Again, Danelle, I don't know what it means when it says both range of motion improved 50, 30, 15, so you need to write it down just like everybody else is. My twist, this is what it did. This is what my other issues did, and literally write it down the way it says. But maybe you've got, but again, you did great, 50 to 15. So Laura, awesome, 50 to 25, 50 to 20. Uh-oh, looks like one thing went up to 40, 50 to 10. So something got a little worse, 70 to 30, 60 to 30. Awesome. Sharon, who we saw, her neck's gone to 25s and 10s. All right, so Robert, his twist went to a 0. His knee to chest went to a 0 from 40. His trunk flexion to 0 from a 30. Shoulder flexion, 20 to 0. Right shoulder internal rotation, 80 to 60. So again, not a lot of hand behind the back change. Nice work. Very nice work. Interesting. I was looking at Corey's. Corey's wrists have changed from at least to 80 to 60, again with the twists. All right. So now let's do something. That's good stuff. I'm going to give you 2 more motions now that you can choose from. And or like, you know, hey, Corey, with your wrist, if you just want to go to the good side and do a bunch on the good to see what happens. Because I'm going to re-emphasize here, people. We're testing the body's motion. We're looking at, hey, look, this moves good, this doesn't move good. We're using one of the goods to start with and seeing what happens to the bad. Now, we're being pretty broad and very general on which motions to use. When you take a seminar, we actually outline it. It's kind of like we teach you how to go from single digit addition to double digit to triple digit addition to subtracting single digits to double to triple to multiplying, dividing, and all this. So we step you through one at a time all potential motions that your body can do in a very systematic way so that our patients, and there was only 6 motions. All right, these 6 motions then get, you know, maybe forward and then backward, but it's an arm raise or it's a leg raise. But there's only 6 of them that we start and then we grow from, but there still only maintains only 6 motions. That's the beauty of this whole thing. And then we begin showing you that, hey, if you have a right arm problem, it can be fixed with maybe that right arm, maybe, but it oftentimes can be fixed quicker with using one of the other extremities, right? This is what you guys are learning right here, but I'm going to open it up now to say, look, you have arms, you have trunk, you have legs. Use them and see what changes. Just like this, that's all I had when I first started this, was just the concept. This is what I'm giving you guys. This is what I had in 2002 or 2003, I forget when it started. But this is all I had. And then I went and I systematized it so that anybody could go from point A to point Z, all right, very systematically and fix themselves. Okay? Because when they're giving all these possible motions to test themselves with, it just becomes overwhelming. Right? However, some people can just go take the concept and run with it. Right? They get the idea. So let's do this now. So everybody right now, we're going to test an arm raise and a leg raise. The arm raise is the only one I'm going to give you instructions on. Not sure you totally need it, but I'll show you why. If you lift an arm up, and let's just say it's got a problem, it will go away from your head. There'll be a big gap in there. But this one might not be a problem at all, and it's coming right up along the side of your head. But when I ask you, because you're not seeing it, you may say, oh, this is the easier one. So I need to have apples to apples. And so what I do is I actually say to you guys, adduct your arm so that when you do lift it, I want it to scrape your bicep right up against your head without your head coming to it, okay? So wherever it can go, it can go. Don't try to force it, because some of you only get to here. But feel what that feels like and which one's yuckier. Give it a score. All right, and I'll show you how to do that in a second too. But that's it. Now, when you treat, you can just go up and back, okay? I'm just going to show you up and back, whichever one's the yummy one. Do up and back, back down, up and back. Sometimes you don't have to bring it all the way down, right? But that's up and back. That's if you're going to do that one as an exercise to the yummy. Then you'll recheck the yucky. But let's also look at what does it look like when we do a leg raise. All right, so it's best if you have a chair that doesn't have a back to it, all right, which I do, or push all the way to the front if possible, because you're allowed to lean back, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But you're going to put a leg out so that your heel's on the ground, and then you're going to lift up as far as you possibly can, and you're going to compare that to putting the other one out, and compare the both of them, and determine which one's yummy and yucky. Now look, every time you find a yucky, you have an asymmetry. All right, Corey, you've got an asymmetry already. You might be able to just come over here and do this. If you would like to try, if you know one of your asymmetries, like one of the ones you picked up above, in like, oh, I forget who was a person. Andrea, you had an arm that looked like this, or it went like this. And this one went just fine. That's an asymmetry. You could just go and do a bunch of these. Robert, you had the hand behind the back that didn't work very well. Well, you could go keep on reaching, and come on out. Keep reaching, come on out. All right? But what I want to see is something really simple here, is that whatever you choose to do, so I'm going to keep it really simple, and I'm going to choose to do the leg raise. So right here, so hopefully you guys will be able to see my screen. I put down here a leg raise. I got lots of room here, 2 more blanks that you can put something else. You got a leg raise or arm raise. I got this big old block, so you can put little X's if you want. And my pre-starting score of my leg raise was a 55 on the right. I just X'd out all these sets right here. My pre-score, all right, because I'm not testing these. This is just kind of like my starting point. We've got a very detailed form. It's so much better than this one, but here's what you've got. All right, so here's what I'm going to start with. I'm then going to treat the arm raise or the leg raise for 2 sets of 15 to 20 reps. And then I'm going to recheck everything. So I'm going to recheck the twist. Whoops, sorry. I'm going to recheck the twist to make sure. I'm going to recheck the leg raise on the yucky side. I'm going to recheck the twist. I'm going to recheck my other stuff that was up above. I'm trying to knock everything out now. I'm always trying to see whether I can get rid of everything. All right, so that's all I'm going to do. And what I would like to see now, when you guys record this, I don't care about seeing everything anymore. What I care about, what's the starting score, what's the ending score? What's the starting score of it, what's the ending score? So I've got my leg raise from 55 to a 25. My twist went from a 10 to a 0. My bending forward, 40 to 0. My leg raise, 50 to 0. Oh, I shouldn't have put these 3 things there. That should be gone. Again, I just don't want you guys to have to write so much anymore. Arm raise, 75 to 5. So what I want you to do is I want you to choose a different exercise now besides the trunk twist. Do 2 sets of 15 to 20, all right? or do 2 reps of pushing into end range for 15 to 20 seconds, whichever you want to do those, and then come back and tell me where your issues are now. Write down everything you started with and tell me what you got now, okay? And then we'll go and we'll watch it, what everybody's got. And we'll go back to our peeps that we tested before. And then we'll ask you guys for some amens and stuff, and you'll share some stories. And then we'll give you time to ask questions. And Andrea, really make sure you get into end range. Because it's about going in the further and further and further and further in the direction that your other arm can't go. Don't just be like, oh yeah, boom. All right, you really want to emphasize that end range. Guys, it's always about emphasize that end range. When you get done, put what you just did, the good side or the bad side, what it went to. Go back and recheck the twist and then put down what the twist was. And remember, make it just like what I've got on the chat box, or just like what I have up here on the screen. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Record on the chat box just like you've been doing. Good, Arlene, 50 to 10, 30 to 10, 10 to 0, 30 to 0, yes. Rebecca, 30 to 10, 40 to 10, yes. Come on, 23 more people, 24 more people. 20, 0, 50 to 20, 50, 0, 70 to 20, 60, 20, yeah, nice. Got the arm raise messed up there, Bill, huh? 70 to 20. Amy, 60, 10, 80, 20, 60, 30, 30, 15. Good work. Guys, and we've done two exercises. I know we did the twist 3 times, and we did this one time. Robert, 80 to 60. So his stayed the same. All right, everything else went to 0. So Amy, you said twist went from 0 to 0 and then a 50 to an 80. So I'm assuming that means it got worse. And leg raise, arm raise, 50 to 0. Because it can get worse. I'm not negating any of that. Ah, right wrist deflection. He went from an 80 to a 40 now. I'm assuming that you probably did the other side. You'll be amazed on what changes with the wrist by doing legs. Big changer. Come on, gang. Need some more in there. 50, 0, 50, 10, 75. Nice job, Andrea. Katie, 40 to 20, 10 to 0, 40 to 0. Desiree, 60, 0, 30, 0, 60, 0, 50 to 0. Sharon went to 10, 0 to 30, 20, 35, 60 to 10, 60 to 40, 10 to 0. Okay, good. So keep recording here, keep saying. All right, so I gotta find you guys now. All right, Robert, I see you now. So Robert, can you show us behind the back? Because it didn't change too much, but let's see what we got.
All right, let me see if I can.
Okay. So you're gonna give that a 60, 80 to 60?
Could you see that?
Yeah, you only gave that a from an 80 to
I'm down to about 50 now.
Okay, good. And what have you been using?
I was doing the other arm internal, the other side.
Yeah, good.
I did the leg raise first. It didn't help much, but when I started doing the left arm, it helped the right side.
Nice. Yeah, good. We'll have people like this is the one of them that I'll pull down on the good side, and it's amazing what changes too. You can push up against a door frame. It doesn't mean that way it's going to work, because sometimes there's three motions there. There's a push back, there's a reach across, and then there's the internal rotation component. There's actually three components going on there. So well done. What do you think?
I think I'm going to keep doing this and hopefully continue to see more improvement. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's quick, it's simple, and it gives you the power. So awesome. Let me get to everybody else and see what they got going on. Thank you, buddy. All right, so we got him off of there. Paula. Well, actually, I got Sheila up there next. So Sheila, you're up next.
Okay. Well, my neck definitely improved.
Good.
Down to 10 to the right.
Damn.
Oh, actually, I had written 20, but it's now 15. Just
Okay.
sitting there.
Good. And what did it start with again?
60.
60. Very nice. Did you fix other things?
The leg extension became much easier, but the nerve does feel irritated. You know, I have a nervy feeling down to my foot.
Okay.
So, but there were other things like back extension became very comfortable.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I rarely have this on the course. Does your leg, even though it went distal, which we're taught with McKenzie stuff, centralizing is better than peripheralizing. However, I'm going to ask you this. Does your leg feel better or worse? If you had to take it all as a compilation,
yeah.
Do you feel better or worse?
I think better.
Yeah, and this is the one part that negated what McKenzie had shown, and I'd say to the person, I said, look, like especially a clinician, feel better or worse? And they say better. And we keep doing it, and then it disappears. So it's almost like that centralization phenomenon could become a peripheralization phenomenon. So again, if you know about McKenzie stuff, that was mind-blowing to me when I found it. So anyways, for what that's worth to you. Because sometimes the fear factor becomes, oh, I'm getting worse because it's getting down. But I just ask you, how's your whole body feel? You feel better or worse, right? And I let them tell me, because sometimes it can be one way, sometimes it can be the other. But with the McKenzie thought process with hernia disc was always, no, that's worse, but it's not. I'll tell you that as you go through. So it's kind of cool stuff. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, it's not what I say either, gang. It's about you can continue to do it and see for yourself, especially because it's your body. You know that what's going to be like and things. Now, tomorrow, let's say something comes back. Well, guys, I'm not treating you right this second. I gave you instructions on what to do, and you're doing those instructions. All right? So you guys, if you come to me, like in your clinician, you say, well, I came back and it's tomorrow. I say, how are you being any different than your patient? If it came back, did you treat yourself to see if you could get it better? If you didn't, then you're being no different than they did. Because what I'm giving you is a skill set. I'm giving you my skill. This is what I do. This is what we do with our patients from, like I said, cerebral palsy on up to athletes, right? This is what we do with stroke patients, all right? It doesn't matter. Right now, can we go into restriction? Absolutely. There's no reason. Try a restriction. Do a couple sets. See what it does. Pay attention as you track everything. As you do, and if you do track everything, you'll begin to see that as you go into restriction, it actually starts making things worse. If it's not the thing that you're treating, which could get better, the other 5 things you're tracking, you may notice 2 or 3 of them start getting worse. But don't take my word for it. I don't even want you to. I really want to give you something that you can go explore for yourself, experiment for yourself, and then you start playing around with it. Then I say to you, look, once you played around just a little bit and you say, man, this is really cool. I'd like to get more specifics on it. I want to get more details on it. I want to know about when to treat, how do I treat this condition or that condition. Get the seminars, okay? All right, so let's see here. Andrea, you're up next. Give me 1 second to get you up and running here. All right, show us that abduction. Woo! Damn, you were a 70 on that before. Well done.
I was. Yep.
All right, and
Much better.
what would you call it now?
A 0.
Awesome. And now do internal.
Yeah, there's no pain.
Good.
Pardon?
Internal rotation now. This. 1 at a time. Oh, good.
Okay.
That's good. And now the other one? That was a 50. What is it now?
I have it down as a 5.
Nice.
They're almost equal.
What do you think?
It's amazing.
Good. How long you had that stuff going on?
Since I had a car accident about 6 years ago. It's been neck, back, shoulder. Yeah.
Good job.
Feels much better.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see here. And oh, look, Bill just popped up for some reason. There you go. And who else do I? Okay, so I did that. Did Sheila? Did Andrea? Did Robert? We got Paula and we got Corey. So let me see. Corey, raise your hand. You still here? Are you gone? Corey, you here? I don't see him at all. Darn, did he see the one that said, I'm sorry, I gotta get out of here. Shoot. Because he said, Corey, unmute yourself if I'm not seeing you. Because his last thing, he'd gone 50% better on that wrist, and I wanted to see that. Shoot. And I believe he did it with the other side. All right, Paula, where's my person in the car? She must have gotten to her destination. See that? Darn. Okay, does anybody else want to share with what happened to them or their thoughts about what happened to them? Actually, I want a couple people to share. You know, maybe you've had this stuff 6 years, right? Because again, when I started showing this, I remember one of my buddies who went to college with me and stuff, he came to the workshop. In 20 years, he hadn't been able to do this abduction. And he's a big potty lifter, big bodybuilder. And he kept testing himself all day long. The next day, he's like, there's no way. He's basically like, hey, this guy that I went to school with can't be doing this stuff. And doing something that oh yeah, Corey had to go to an appointment. Thanks, Rebecca, for letting me know. All right. And thanks, Sheila, for letting me know. Bill, thank you too. All right. So yes, I know all of you are clinicians, right? Most of you. All right. And it can be pretty stupid how quickly it can work. Again, the next question is always going to be, how long does it last? I will tell you the answer to that question is always the exact same answer. And you need to go back to the website, totalemotionrelease.com, go to step number 3, and it'll share with you why that is. I just want you to always know where it is. All right. And I want you to be able to go back to it over and over and over again. So totalemotionrelease.com, step 3. Anybody else want to share what happened? Come on, you guys had some killer stuff go on. How many had something more than a year that got better? All right, Laura. Tell us what happened, Laura. Unmute yourself.
All righty, I am 2.5 weeks post total hip surgery.
All right.
And have been seeing Bill Jones. for hip and other things.
Okay.
He is focusing on trying to get some back problems that have also been plaguing me for probably about 15 years.
Okay.
And so many of the things that you've done, I've done with him. And the changes are really remarkable. I'm not a clinician, but have a background in, I had worked at the same PT clinic that Bill had been at for about 10 years, so had been around things.
Yep.
And it really does fascinate me how it works.
Very cool. Well, thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. Unpin you here. How about somebody else? Okay. Well, I'd love for you to share if you would like to. Wait, somebody. Oh, Desiree, hold on. Go ahead, ma'am. I got you.
Okay. Well, last time we did this, I didn't have any issues, so I did want to participate. So I called my girlfriend, she's really jacked up. She walks funny. I mean, she has lupus and she has limited shoulder flexion, limited hip extension. She can't cross her legs or do anything. So I brought her to do, put the scores down. Yeah. Well, it was significant. It went from 90s to like 40s. She couldn't even cross her left leg over her right leg. She couldn't even lift it, like in sitting, to even cross it. And she was able to cross her leg. Her shoulder inflection increased.
Is she there to at least smile at us or anything like that?
You know what? I invited her tonight again because she said she's doing so much better since that one time. She was out of town.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you, Desiree, for sharing. And it's awesome to see you.
Thank you. You too. This stuff is awesome. Tom, I'm telling you, I use it everywhere. I use it at work all the time. My coworkers have embraced it. They're using it. They're seeing the results. Like my total knees, I have almost 100% success rate. Like their pain is like a 1. They walk without the cane or the walker before they leave me. The range of motion is I don't even have to touch their knee. I just do the other leg. And I mean, they can't do a straight leg raise. All of a sudden, they can do a straight leg raise. They can do a longer quad. It's crazy. It's just
how many times you got your bodybuilder buddies that are like jacked up and you get to
I've done and treated those because they shoulder pain, because everybody in the gym wants to bring the chest, down to the bar down to the chest, and then they overstretch their rotator cuff muscles, and everybody has shoulder pain. So first I educate them not to go that far and just stay here, but I do the technique on them as well. I just did it on a older gentleman. Well, let me tell you about this one gentleman. Okay. He's like 82. He's in the gym every day, and I just applaud him for even being in there. I mean, slow walking, walker cane, and things like that. But I just said, you know what, let me try something on you. And after I finished the trunk rotation, just the 2 times, I saw that man, he was walking around without his cane. He had more pep in his step. He was going moving plates. It was hilarious. We were all laughing because it was like he don't even realize
what happened.
Yeah. I mean, it was incredible. And he said, so I can do this again tonight? I said, yes.
Yes, you may. Well, thank you, Desiree. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Always good to see you.
You too.
All right, so it says, my shoulder got 40%. This is Robert, who behind his back, but my shoulder got about 40% better, but all of the motions improved to 0 for some of the yucky side. It actually became the good side, and I feel much looser. Amy said, I can say I feel lots better overall than I did before. Amy said, I definitely noticed nice changes. And Robert said, I didn't mention it, but my back was a little sore after a hard day of work and feels great now. Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. All right, so I'm going to open the floor up to you guys. I mean, I can still share now. Actually, no, let me share one part of a website, and it's the TMR TOTS. Because sometimes we get so into, if we're outpatient orthopedics, thinking that, well, what will it do for somebody has surgery? What will it do for this and that? And what if they've got plates and screws and all this other stuff? And the deal is, until you see what it does for TMR TOTS, that orthopedic stuff is minor in comparison to this. You want to see some, this is a Rett syndrome case. I'm not going to open this video up, but it's really cool to see that change. But what I wanted to show you was, this is a torticollis case. This was somebody this is a child that has level 5 torticollis. This means the neck is tweaked or rotated, the trunk is torqued, and so is the pelvis. And this was after one session with somebody after they took level 2. This is 45-minute treatment, boom, came out of here like that. Mom was shown what to do. Mom brought her back actually a little bit better. She left like this after 2 visits. Okay, now, I'm not necessarily trying to get somebody just better in 2. I'm trying to get them better in 2 visits, but I'm actually trying to educate them as much as I possibly can. As I say, I want to get them as high up the mountain as I possibly can. And what I mean by that is the mountain to be able to fix themselves. But just like I'm teaching you, you are learning on yourself so then you can transfer it to another. The exact same thing I'm trying to provide for them. And there's different varying degrees, just like, hey, are they okay to stop at, like 8th grade? Let's just say, hey, they can function in life if they get to at least up to the 8th grade level of education, right? How much education do they need? And we've got something called the Fab 6, and it's in neutral, rotated, and rotate out. We say we get most people to that. They are going to be able to take care of probably 70% of their issues. We've got another one where you go into something called the Super 6. If they learn how to do that in neutral, rotate, and rotate out, they pretty much take care of 90% of their stuff. So again, very powerful stuff. And I'm trying to provide the same gift to my patients, those who want to go there with understanding. And the reason is, our pediatric patients may not be capable, but their parents oftentimes are wanting to. This is a cerebral palsy kid that came into the seminar, always posturing in hypertonicity like this. And this is the way after 45 minutes he got. This is a child that was getting fitted. These are actually videos. It doesn't really show that, but these are videos of a child with hypotonia. So he's very loose. And he was getting fitted for a wheelchair. This is what he looked like. And then after TMR, he got up on his stuff. And then 35 months, he took his first steps. And then at 40 months, he's walking on the hill. So I like to show that in the realm of, guys, unfortunately, up to this point, we've been programmed into this idea that we need to go into restriction in the area that doesn't work well. That's great. That's one way, all right? But you're going to find out if it works, great, but most of the time, on majority of tissues in the body, 7 of 9 of them, they prefer shortening, and it's faster. But you'll also find out that if you watch the video online under step number 2 on the homepage, totalmotionrelease.com, it is going to show you exactly how it looks like we're exercising the opposite side, but what we're truly doing is shortening the injured side. If somebody can't lift this arm up, there's a strain somewhere that's pulling it down. You might feel the pain in the shoulder, but the strain or the muscle tightness or whatever's causing it not to lift may be in the legs, but nobody's looking there. As you begin to see this and you begin to open up and you just begin to explore and play around with it, it's mind-blowing. The things that you've been trying to fix will just fix now from this one simple thing, because majority of people's bodies have never gone into ease. Because of that reason, you will magically change them. Then everybody's always stayed up in the area of injury on the restriction. Now you're going to go into ease, right? And it can be magical, but now you're going to go into the other extremities. Like if it's the right arm, you might go to the left, but you can change them by the left leg and the right leg, oftentimes even quicker. So in order to become a truly complete therapist, you need to know about into restriction. You need to know about into ease. You need to, and when I say need to know, I don't mean know. You need to have been exploring and experimented so that it is part of your routine. Because right now your routine, 98% of clinicians are into restriction and into the area of injury. When you want to become a complete therapist, you should be able to use any extremity to fix any other extremity. When you can do that, then you typically have and I don't care whether you're manually doing it or whether you're doing corrective exercise-wise. There's only 2 things you can do with the body. You can move it for them, which is manual, or you can have them move it themselves, right? All we're doing from that point on is we're then assessing motion, whether I'm pushing you or you're doing it yourself, for asymmetries. Then provide them a means to fix it, into restriction or into ease, into one good motion, all right? Start with something good to see what it does to all the bad. Start with something bad, see what it does to the bad, right? But when you begin to do that, you'll open up to, again, most of us got in this to help people as much as we possibly can. What better thing to do than give your skill away? The last point that I want to make is if you're heading or wanting to head into telehealth, you just saw, quote me, reduce 30 people's issues in this short period of time, right? So that is the premier technique for telehealth. That is coming 2 to 3 years from now. It will be the biggest, probably not, it'll be the biggest takeaway of patients from brick and mortar clinics. Not to say there's brick and mortar clinics will still be around and stuff, but if they were thinking that, hey, my orthopods have been taking, my hospitals have been taking patients from, well, now people, there's a lot of the students coming out now. They want to have their own cash practice. They want to be able to treat people, and they want to do it online and mobile. So it's going to be a big deal. And I know one of the biggest places in the country now is trying to bring it into their mix too. So beautiful, beautiful system. If you're an owner, to make sure you're ready for it. And if you're a therapist looking to maybe venture into a different type of income generator, it's a great thing to do too. Rebecca wrote, I just worked 10 myofascial sessions on a twin that was 16 months old that had a serious torticollis. She was all better after. You are telling me that I can do this in a few sessions? Unbelievable. My 100% manual therapy was John Barnes' myofascial release, taking all his courses. Loved it to death. All right. That's what I did. And I did strain counter strain. So even from the myofascial part of it, the unwinding, I'll even teach you how to speed up unwinding. And yes, that's what I'm typically saying is majority of the stuff that you're doing in myofascial, you can change quicker. Again, doesn't mean that everything gets fixed here, people. A hell of a lot more stuff does. Because again, you didn't realize it, right? So I share one more part, and that is, guys, I do these things to plant seeds. And I plant seeds because I know how powerful this is, not just for you getting that nice pat on the back and aha moments a hell of a lot more often, but to give your skill away to other people. But because, again, majority of us need CEUs, I'd love to have this be the next seminar you take. So here's our seminars, and you can do a level 1 package for $595. Every time you do take a seminar, you do get to take it twice, right? We will even do payments of $100 a month until it's paid off, right? So we're pretty easy as far as that goes. We have a 3 package that is this is the biggest one everybody buys, because you can do all 3 seminars. You can do them this year. You could do them in the next 2 months or a month, the next week if you want, because you could do a home study or live online, right? Live online gets home study credit, live online gets live credit. I'm not going to go massively into this, because if you go to the homepage and you click on this, there's videos telling you exactly what you get, how it works, and I don't want to necessarily take the time to do it, but I hold a seminar every single month for level 1, and then 2 to 3 times a year for level 2 and 3. So they're still there for you. Check it out. What I always say, don't just say, oh, I'll take one. If you can afford the $9.95, $100 a month for 10 months, do that one, because you get to take it twice. Learn it now. Get credit for it now if you want to. And then 6 years from now, I don't care if you need credit, take it again. You've basically got 96 credit hours. There's 16 credit hours, 16 credit hours, 16 credit hours, 48 credit hours total. All right, you can take it twice. That's 96 credit hours. All right, this is primo stuff. This is not me lecturing to you. I have a very revolutionary system in which you come online and you learn it at your own pace. All right, very systematically. It's something I learned 30 years ago when I was flown all over the country, learning how to teach teachers how to teach better. All right, so that comes from my education. But again, I teach and I learn you all about it within these 2.5-minute videos and in this 6-minute and 50-minute video. So if you were fascinated and you changed a lot, this stuff works. How long does it last? How many asymmetries can you get better? How many things can you do for yourself? Those kind of things come into play. So I will leave you with that. Now, if you're general public or patient and you want to do what you, or want to learn even more about this, there's a general public help. So when you're on the main page, general public, and you get the TMR intro package. This teaches you the Fab 6 and neutral, rotate in and rotate out, teach you life, teach you exercise stuff. This is an amazing package for the general population and the general public to really, really help yourself with. All right, so have a look at it. Take a peek, again, right up here, general public help. I highly recommend it. And again, read what you need to read, because again, I'm not going over this, but it is all there for you to find out about. And again, if you've had tremendous success with this as a patient, then you really, really owe it to yourself to do it. And the really cool part is you will be in touch with me and connected to me on something called an audio text, which is like Voxer, which is called a Voxer app, which you'll be in walkie-talkie contact the whole step of the way with me as you're going through this. So it's the next best thing to having me right there in front of you. I appreciate you spending the Tuesday night with me, and I'm here right now for any other questions, revelations, ahas, anything that you would like to ask or share. I will stay online and go for it. So right now, feel free to unmute yourself and chat away. Otherwise, feel free to say goodnight, and I hope to see you on the inside of one of the seminars. Anybody want to ask anything? Yeah, so will this work for contractures? So contractures, let's just call it hypertonicity too, right? So it depends, because what you're going to do is you're going to be using things you've never used before. So you will instantly, like, so if you thought your whole universe was actually the universe to the right. You didn't know there was this universe to the left, and you haven't been using it, right? That alone can take contractures and change them just from that logic. But then you've been staying in this quadrant of injury, right? So you've been staying, if it's a shoulder, you've been staying with the neck, you've been staying with the rib cage and a little bit of the thoracic and the arm, all right? Now we've just turned you on to, or we'll show you how to use every other extremity to change something. That alone will increase your effectiveness 87.5%. There's a reason behind that, is because if you've only gone into restriction on the injured side, and the injured side can also find something that's very much an ease. I don't care whether you're moving it for them, like manually, or whether they're moving themselves. That's 2 directions of motion, ease or restriction for every quadrant. So that means there's 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's 8 directions of motion. You've been using 1 direction of motion on the injured side, injured quadrant. That's 1 out of 8. That's 12.5% of the ability to move somebody. When you take TMR and you understand this for what it is, you can now use 8 of 8 directions of motions, or 2 directions of motion in 4 quadrants, which is the whole 100%. So you've been actually missing about 87.5% of the problem, all right? So I don't ever make any promises to any of my patients, quote, this will work and fix everything, right? Because that's not true, but it will change a lot more than what you've done, because every single technique you currently use can be put to this philosophy and this concept, and it'll make it better. We do this with McKenzie and enhance it. Mulligan, manipulation, we do it with dry needling, PRT, energy work.
Hey.
Go ahead. Somebody, Bill?
It's me.
Hey, we only see your mouth, basically, in your t-shirt.
Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Well, I just want to interrupt just to say that the only reason I tagged onto the thing tonight was because I had some increased soreness from a workout. I already know how to take care of myself, but a lot of times I don't take care of myself as much as I should, just like every other therapist out there, and some therapists that are patients of mine. So anyway, so I decided to do that. And of course, I've taken the course I don't know how many times. But
Bill's taken about 5-6 times, plus he's instructed for me a whole bunch. So
but the interesting thing is you always pick up something, but So you know, somebody had written in there about doing so many myofascial techniques and all this other stuff. I mean, I was 100% or 99.9% manual oriented until I went to the first course. I thought it was going to be the biggest waste of my time, and then that totally changed how I do everything right now. So, but right now I feel a lot better just because I got rid of my post-workout soreness and stiffness, which I have been working on during the day. So this morning it was a lot worse than my numbers that I threw on there this afternoon. But anyway, just want to throw those 2 cents in there too, that it's not only the worst cases, but it can just be something as simple as you just a little sore after a workout.
Yeah, very good. Good point. Very good point.
So,
Yes.
I want to ask a question, I guess, or say something. Yeah. So I've been doing massage therapy for 37 years.
Yes.
And for the last 26, I own my own clinic in Florida, and I do somewhere between 30 and 40 every week.
Wow.
Sessions. And when I say myofascial, I'm not talking about John Barnes soft stuff. I mean, you know, old stuff. Okay. I'm talking barreling through more like George Coselius type of myofascial stuff. It's more structural integration type thing.
All right.
So this little twin that I worked on, everything I did hurt her, but we barreled through it with her mom sitting there crying and her crying, and we got it done. I mean, she can move her head all the way around, not crying anymore. She's not crooked anymore. But if I can do this instead for somebody who really cannot take any pressure, it's amazing.
Yeah.
There's no, and just what you did to me tonight, I cannot hurt. I also have rheumatoid arthritis.
Yep.
So I'm doing all these massages 100% in pain all the time.
Yep.
Because I also won't take Humira or whatever, methotrexate or whatever they want you on. I won't do it. So I'm always in pain. I am not in pain standing here right now. That is amazing.
Thank you. I agree.
So I guess I don't really have a question as much as where do I sign up? No.
I see you know where, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But that 37 years I've been busting my butt on these muscles and tearing people apart to get them to be able to move again. And if I can have just a little bit of this in there with their I gotta have deep tissue, then we're gonna make unbelievable strides.
I like your excitement. I will say to you, yes to all what you're saying. In other words, what I'll do, I have many massage therapists that go, I'm at this stage in my career, you know, as many years as you've been out, and she goes, my hands can't take it anymore.
You hurt all the time.
So there you go. Well, enjoy.
Amazing.
Thank you. All right, I want to ask you a couple others. Okay, good. Any contraindications? I'll come back to that. Pretty much, again, we don't break protocols. All right, if you've got, and we don't, if something's contraindicated in therapy, you can be somewhat less cautious with this. But again, that doesn't mean, because we're going into ease. So it depends on which one you'd like to know about. You know, I've done this with anterior disc fractures. They were healed, okay? And the doctors asked me, they said, we can't do anything. So I've done it with a ton of stuff, and I don't run into many contraindications. But that doesn't mean that, hey, if this person's got this thing, I mean, you got to use your judgment on that. It's going to be a hell of a lot more, less contraindications because we're going into ease, not into restriction. The restriction already increases contraindications. Just didn't know it. Just a quick question. How do we get the CEUs for this class? Robert, again, the webinar was free. If you paid for the CEUs that were like $40 or $50, if you got the books, Sam will send you that email tomorrow, or he'll send you an email saying, but it could go in your spam. He will also send an email to people who would still like to have this CEU credit, but didn't sign up for it, okay? So I hope that answers your question, Robert. This is great. What do you say about OT CEUs? Okay, Andrea, this OT CEU thing is just driving me crazy. I was working on it today. They increased put higher standards into OTs, standards for the AOTA. And that was last year. We're still trying to get re-credentialed again because we've had it for a decade now. So we're going back, and we hope to have it again in 3 to 4 months because there's a lot of stuff that we have to get somebody to review it now that's an OT, credential it, write out a contract for it. So we're working on it. I hope to have it done by the end of the summer. How do I get credit? I paid $50, but not sure how to obtain the ebooks and how to fax my worksheet. Okay, I just said that. Does this help neuropathy and nerve pain? Again, Sheila, does it help neuropathy and nerve pain? The answer is, have we seen it do it? Yes. Now it's exploring it and finding it and doing it and see what happens. Okay. So if you're asking me, have we seen success with it? Absolutely. All right. How do you work with breathing relative to movement? Just, Joanne, a lot of times people say, hey, we got to stop breathing, breathe, relax. What we find is, like, there's an easy way to do it. Like, you can take a twist, take a deep breath in. All right. Now do this side. Now do deep breath in. I don't take a deep breath in that side. All right. You can literally now go to the good side, and as you twist, take a deep breath in. You can hold it and then turn a little more, take a little deeper, or you can let it out, turn, breathe in again. You'll be amazed on what changes on it. So breathing can be done, but do not expect it to be the typical, like what you're thinking breathing. We've taken breathing and explored breathing and experimented with breathing, not say, oh, you need to breathe, you do this, because like postural restoration talks a lot about breathing, right? A lot about the diaphragm, a lot of this. But again, a restricted diaphragm also has a motion deficit within other directions of motion. You free that up and your breathing becomes easier and better. And so I'm not quite sure exactly what you're speaking of. I'm not sure I answered your question. If not, pop on the mic and ask me. How does a patient find a practitioner? I have a friend in Colorado. So Andrea, on the webpage, totalemotionrelease.com, it says TMR locator at the top right. Are there course objectives for the 3 seminars? Yeah, just look up totalemotionrelease.com and go up to CEU seminars, and you'll see that, I believe. Cool, good night. If you do the TMR first, massage will always be easier. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll be amazed. Like let's say you even just touch the person, go over to see where their tautness is before the massage. Do some TMR on them to go back, and you'll be like, oh my gosh. And so you'll do in minutes what you're taking a long time and effort to try to get done. Other ideas for stroke patients, I've done leg raise, arm raise, and trunk rotation. Galaxy X9. Desiree, that's you, right? About the stroke. Give me, yes, I can talk to you about it, but a little bit. Desiree, if you actually want to call me like tomorrow or just text me, I'll put my cell number in here, and any number on the website is my cell phone, I think, that should be on there. I'll put it, shoot me a text tomorrow. I was just talking to somebody else about stroke patients too. So Desiree, I just put my phone number in there. I think I've got yours in my phone too. Yeah, I got yours. I'll just put a hello, and you can say, get up with me tomorrow. Good, you should have gotten it. Yeah, and so Bill said he's seen a lot of post-cancer patients. Yeah, I work with cancer patients with bone metastases and other suggestions. Cancer has been a unique thing. Again, it's not a specialty of mine, but I see people with coming in for other things to do, and it happens. And Bill's had the experience, and I will tell you, counter strain, right? This is a functional counter strain or a movement-based counter strain. Counter strain. I know one of the instructors at counter strain, and he was working hospice. And they had to send them out of hospice because they got better. And hospice is there when they're going to maybe die in 2 weeks. And it was a month and a half later, and they were doing a whole bunch better. So the motion that it gave, whether it was helping us, clean up the swamp or somewhat. I'm not saying it got rid of the cancer, but that's not at all what I'm saying. But the improvement they see, it has been changed. Will it work for everybody? I'm not saying that. Is it contraindicated to bend, twist, etc.? No, definitely not. So those types of contraindications, don't twist and bend. Let's say they just had spinal surgery. Well, I'm not going to break the protocol. Protocol is different than, well, in my mind is that I'm not going to break protocol because if a doctor's saying not to typically, and they've had plates and screws put in, it's because the plates and screws have to solidify to the bones. And that may mean they don't want to do, maybe the reason they don't want to. I can call up the doc. I actually have a spine surgeon that's a brother. And I say, well, you let me do arm raises and leg raises, but yet every time I pick up a leg and walk, I'm rotating my body. I'm actually stabilizing my body from rotating as the rest of it does it, which is actually creating more force on the spine. He goes, yeah, you're true there. So really it's just to solidify into the bone, which is important to do. So I don't want to make that worse. But I can do the other parts of I can do the good parts if they're allowed to. I have patients post-lumbar laminectomy with fusions. I know that movements may be limited because of the fusion, but I guess TMR can still be used to make the movements easier. Yeah, again, whatever the doctors give, if you are seeing them, you've been given permission to do therapy, all right? And you've been given permission to do therapy, but your therapy is pretty much into restriction, which is it's going to cause more strain and more potential problems than going into ease. And you're only looking in the area of injury, and now I'm providing you the entire body to go. You'll be amazed on how much it can change. It's a contraindication to bend and twist with bone mets. That is what I'm saying. I got you. I'm going to give you my opinion without any, I don't see them. They're telling you not to do it because what happens is they've got restriction going on. They go and twist into the restricted side, and then the fracture comes about and stuff. If you go into the easier, it should release those restrictions and make them more even better because they are living life and probably up and around, okay, to a degree. All right, if they are functional with it, then the deal is like the doctor will say, don't move. But the real true answer should probably be, don't move into the restrictions. Don't move into the bad because those are tautness, and that tautness now is the thing that then probably pops a bone or something or breaks it. I have no experience and can't go from the experimentation standpoint, but from what I've done with anterior fractures and the other type of stuff, I'm assuming that's what it's coming from, okay? But again, you just had my opinion. I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one, so. Yeah, osteoporosis is the same idea. I mean, you know, with osteoporosis, you need to get them up and moving and weight bearing. So, yeah, completely. As Bill said, totally same idea. Well, gang, thank you so much. It's amazing. I'm looking forward to practicing using the technique at pediatric and elderly patients. I will keep looking for CEUs for OTs. Andrea, I hope to have them up really shortly, but again, we weren't expecting. We already went through it once and twice with them, and now we're back resetting or redoing it again. So awesome. All right, gang, thanks for a great evening. See ya.